everyone, welcome to Apple Meets Spain. For today's video, I'm going to do a review of my 2-year-old Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandouliere. This bag right here, I'm going to show you its pros and cons, as well as I'm going to give you some tips to those people who are interested in buying their first luxury bag. Spoiler alert, there will be ketchup and Louis Vuitton in this video. A few years back, I was one of those people who said I will never buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Why? Because I think the Louis Vuitton bag is so expensive for what it has to offer. Fast forward to today, Louis Vuitton is one of my favorite luxury brands ever. In choosing my first luxury bag, I have considered two factors. Number one is the price, the second one is the purpose of the bag. Okay, so for the first factor, which is the price, Louis Vuitton, among other luxury brands, is considered to be on the affordable side. If you look at the Louis Vuitton website nowadays, there are some bags that doesn't necessarily break the bank. The next factor that I considered is the purpose of the bag. Why? Because the purpose of the bag will determine the style that I will choose. Do I want something that I will use for the office, or do I want something that is light or I will use for traveling? Since I am planning to keep this bag for a very long time, I want something that is classic but at the same time versatile. I also want a bag that have room for my essentials. Among all those bags that I've looked at, the clear winner for me was the Speedy Bandouliere size 30, and I will tell you now why. As of May 2021, the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandouliere in the size 30 cost around 1,200 euros in the Louis Vuitton website here in Spain. This is more or less what I paid for 2 years ago in the Soler branch in the Philippines. Louis Vuitton items in the Philippines are usually more expensive compared to the ones that are bought here in Spain. One advantage or one pro of having this bag is that if I don't want this anymore, this has a high resale value. Checking RealReal.com or Fashion File, you can see the second-hand or pre-loved Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandouliere will cost around $1,300 or $1,500, $1,600. This is probably the same amount if you pay or buy this in Europe. Maybe you can get in the Japanese second-hand stores a good bargain for this bag, but I can guarantee you if you want a very good conditioned one, you won't get this for half the price of the new one. If you are considering on buying LV bags or Louis Vuitton bags, the European market has the best prices. The second factor that I considered is the purpose of the bag. My intended purpose for this bag is primarily for just going out, going to places, and maybe even for going to work. Compared to the original Speedy, the Speedy Bandouliere has a strap, this one, and this was one of my main considerations for buying this bag. I like the Speedy Bandouliere because of its versatility. You can wear it 3 ways. Number 1 is you can wear it crossbody. Number 2, you can wear it as a shoulder bag. And the third one, you can wear it in the crook of your elbow or your arm a la Speedy original. Now let's check how my Speedy is after 2 years of use. Now we're going to focus on the bag itself. We will check it out if there are any signs of wear and tear and what is good and what is not good about this bag. Okay, when I first bought this bag, I have noticed like in the bandolier or the strap, there are some crinkling happening, some signs of wear and tear. For example, here in the holes where you can put the buckles, there is a sign of a little bit of crumpling or unevenness here. The strap for me is still a little bit hard because as I said, I barely use this bag. I baby this a lot. There are a little bit of some fingerprints or scratches. The brass is still good here. Also here, I'm going to remove the strap to check further. So looking at the main buckles, It's quite still golden, yellow gold. There are no obvious signs of wear and tear, just a little bit of scratching, but that is very minimal or insignificant for me. So there is a little bit of wear here, like a little bit of crumpling. The bandolier strap for the Louis Vuitton Speedy is consisting of 3 parts. I'm going to remove now. So one portion, another one here, which is another end. Still everything looks good. And this is the middle part where I can see the more wear, like right here. We'll go on to the main bag right here. We'll first check the outside if it still looks good. There's a bit of crumpling happening right here. Let's check on the other side. Okay, so see here, there is a little bit of signs of wear over here. The brass buckle, not really. And also, well, it says here Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France. So that is one indication that your bandolier is an original and not a fake. Let's check the handles. On the chaps, it's still smooth as a baby. There is a little bit of crumpling again over here. A little bit of unevenness. Let's see the other side. Same here, where there is the stitching. Let's check the handles. Okay, the glazing is still good, even after 2 years. On the other side as well, it's still good. Now the zipper. Okay, if you notice, the brass zipper as well as the buckle is of a different color compared to the one that has the Louis Vuitton. This one is more of a yellow gold, and this is more like a lighter gold. Okay, let's try to open the bag. Okay, inside I have a bag organizer, like this one. Okay, let's remove it out. Okay, just a quick info about this bag organizer. I think I bought this from Lazada. It wasn't really meant for the Speedy. I think this was meant for the Neverfull, but it fits the bag just right, so I used it. Because without the organizer, I will show you, the Speedy Bandouliere just have one room for everything except for the inside pocket right here, where I mostly keep the lock and key, because as I said, I never use this. This bag organizer has several compartments, which I like. It has this portion right here so that you won't lose your keys. Inside the Speedy, there's also a similar thing right here to keep your keys, but I think for me, I would prefer to use the one in the bag organizer. Louis Vuitton items doesn't have an authenticity card. What they do have is a serial number. For this Speedy, the serial number is located right here under the pocket. So now checking on the outside, let's check if there are any signs of wear and tear. The Speedy comes in many different sizes and material, but this one is made out of coated canvas. And this is in the Damier Ebene style. One way of knowing if your Speedy is original or not is if you can check if it's just one continuous canvas all throughout. So how do you know if it's a continuous canvas or not? As you can see here in the checkerboard, there is like a Louis Vuitton Paris right here. And when you go around, there's another one right there. Turn it around. There you go. Still Louis Vuitton Paris, but if you put it like this, it's upside down. So that is another way to know if your Speedy is an original or not. I think I can count with my 2 hands the number of times that I have used this bag. So I admit I baby this bag a lot. Imagine when I saw the lock and key inside. It was terrible, considering the fact that I never ever use the lock and key and I always just keep it inside this bag. To be honest, I was disappointed on the condition of the lock and key for this bag. I was browsing online to check how to clean the lock and the key when the ketchup way was brought up. I was kinda excited and a bit hesitant in doing so. In cleaning the lock and keys, you will just need some items that are found around the house like ketchup, an old toothbrush, and the container for the lock and keys. The first step is to get the container and put the lock and the keys inside. The next step is to put ketchup all over the lock and the keys, making sure that all the parts of the lock and keys are covered. I soaked mine for about 20 minutes because I wanted to make sure that all the stains in the lock and the keys are removed. Now I'm just rinsing the lock under water to make sure that all the bits and pieces of ketchup are removed from the lock and the keys. Now that we have removed all the ketchup from the lock, you can see that it's so shiny, but there are still some marks that cannot be removed from the lock. After washing the lock and the keys, make sure that you dry it out with a cloth. Okay, so for the final verdict, the lock and the keys came out shiny and almost new, but there are some marks that wasn't removed and left a pink stain on the lock and the keys. And that concludes my review of the Speedy Bandouliere size 30. If you have any suggestions or comments, please write down below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and do consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a good day and always stay safe.